Well, I'm going to do another little train ride this morning. I'm going to get the train from Great BedWyn into Pewsey. There's no direct train from BedWyn to Pewsey, looking at the National Rail website. So I've got to get a train back to Newbury from here, and then another train from Newbury to Pewsey. So like I said, the sky's looking a bit overcast, so there's a little bit of sun about. Where is it? Somewhere over there behind me. So yeah, I said quite a bit of rain last night, and I said this morning a bit overcast, so hopefully it's not too bad a day for walking. So let's see how it goes. When I get to Pewsey, I'm going to get around doing a bit of recording, and I'm also sort of get a bit of grub and that, pop to a little cafe or something like that for a bit of cooked food, and hopefully get my phone charged up a bit. And here I am back at Newbury at the train station, waiting for my next train to Pewsey, which is currently running about 10-12 minutes late, so sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forwards. So hopefully soon that train will get here and get to Pewsey. And as soon as I get there, get a bit of grub and then carry on my walk. Here I am down at Pewsey Wharf. There's a few spots of rain about, hopefully don't come to anything. There's the Waterside pub. It's closed today unfortunately, so can't get any grub here today. But I'm gonna plod along and hopefully rain don't come to too much, because I ain't got a coat or anything like that. I got a jumper but not a coat. So I'm gonna get a little bit damp, I think. It's about 12-13 miles roughly from Pewsey to Devizes along the canal. So it's about 11:15 now. So all being well, I'm going to get to Devizes mid to late afternoon, depending on how many stops I have along the way and all the rest. There's a Weatherspoons in Devizes, so I'm gonna, when I get there, go to Spoons for a meal, and then by the time I've had the meal and all the rest, it'll be time to plod along and start looking for somewhere to camp. So hopefully it'll be a dry night, not a wet one like last night. See what happens, guys, see what happens. Rather interesting little bridge there going across the canal. Now, I might have remembered completely wrong, but if I've remembered rightly, that's called the Lady Bridge. Four years ago, back in 2018, when I walked the Kennet and Avon Canal the first time, one evening I camped out in these little woods. It was quite nice, just put my tent up in here, and then spent the evening just chilling out by the canal side. This was quite a nice little place to sit and read and drink. Now, it is quite nice when you get a good campsite right next to a canal. I'm within about 5 miles or so of Devizes, and I must admit, I personally find this part of the canal to be the most boring section of the whole canal. It's just so, nothing exciting about it. It's just so featureless to my mind, and it just seems to go on forever. And I find walking this bit is a bit of a boring old slog. Nothing really inspiring all that much about the landscape. So yeah, I'll be glad when I get to Devizes. Oh, friggin' old weather. Drizzling a bit now. I'm about 3-4 miles or so to go to Devizes, something like that. As soon as I get there, straight to good old spoons, dirty spoons for a meal and a drink. I'm going to get a refillable coffee, fill me boots with coffee. I think I might get a dirty burger, dry out a little bit there, and then find somewhere to camp. I've sussed out possible place to camp out near Canal. See what it's like when I get there. Oh man, I don't know what's worse for walking in a bit of drizzle, or walking during that absolute heat wave. Walking in drizzle's not nice because you get wet. Walking in a heat wave, you just get over hot. Which is worse, I don't know. I haven't decided that. Aye. Here I am in Devizes town centre on a wet Tuesday tea time. And I'm a bit soaked to say the least. I'm a moist little boy. Moist and hungry. I've just finished having dinner in the local spoons, during which time the rain's pretty much stopped. The skies are still overcast, so I think it might still be a bit of rain to come, I don't know. But at least it's not raining at the moment. Now all I've got to do is find somewhere to camp. Oh, a bit of blue sky there, look at that. That's alright. That looks nice. So anyway, down to Devizes Wharf area and Canal and all that. Well, not exactly the most hidden of wild camping spots. So if I just pop out here. Yeah, I'm going to be in there tonight. It's not exactly the most protective of areas, but it should be enough for me to just put my sleeping bag out. Like I said, normally when I'm wild camping, I prefer somewhere a little bit more hidden, but needs must as the devil drives, and this will be all right. It'll do for tonight. If I just twizzle you around a minute, guys. Yeah, so I'm not a million miles away from Cane Hill Locks and Devices. So tomorrow morning, when I start my journey, I'll be starting from there. So I'll do a bit of recording at Cane Hill Locks, and all being well actually it's pretty safe bet to say that tomorrow I'm going to hit Bradford on Avon. So do a bit of recording at the Tithe Barn, and I think there's an old church here as well that might be worth recording, and all that. And Avon Cliff Aqueducts. Yeah, it is Avon Cliff. Yeah, Avon Cliff Aqueducts. Yeah, I'm going to be getting there tomorrow, so record all of that. That is spectacular place. You'll see that in a few minutes when I'm recording it. It's going to be more than a few minutes before I get there. Quite a few hours worth of walking, but in terms of the video, only a few minutes before you get to watch it. So guys, yeah, it's a good place. You'll see what I mean. Well, it's a bit of an early start to a Wednesday morning. It's about 7:10 in the morning now. I'm at the top end of Cane Locks, so Devices is just back that way. I'm going to go into town to need to refill my water bottle. If I twizzle around, there's the rest of the locks there. Lots and lots of locks going off into the distance. What I'll do is when I get down the bottom, I'll do a bit of recording from the bottom back up towards the top. And here we are at the bottom of Cane Hill Locks. I don't know how well it's coming out on video. The lighting's not very good at the moment, so. There we go, at the bottom looking up towards the top. Twizzle around down to the bottom of it, almost at the bottom. Quite a fair few locks. No, I've never been on a barge, so I've no idea how long it would take to get through all of these locks. But I'd imagine it would take quite a while to get through each and every one of them, from the top to the bottom. I've just come across this little beastie. What is it? Is it a little baby lobster? It's a baby lobster, isn't it? I mean, what else would it be? I don't know. I mean, do you get baby lobsters by canal side? Well, you must do. I mean, that is, isn't it? It's a baby lobster. I mean, what else could it be? I don't know. Some quite nice old looking farm buildings. And a little, that'd be some kind of a windmill. Wonder what that would be used for. It'd be for generating power or something like that. I'm not sure. An old-fashioned device, anyway. Morning. Now that would be a lovely little place to live, I think. A nice little garden like that, right on the edge of the canal. Probably a fair few bob to buy. But no, it would be so idyllic. An old method of transportation. And a new method of transportation. Semmington Docks. Just there, where that picture is, of the boat, that's the original junction of the Wilton Berks Canal, where it connects up with the Kennet and Avon. And it ran all the way from here up to Abingdon, near Oxford. Oh. Well, I don't know if they're planning to restore it or not, but yeah, that marks the site of the original junction, this end. Obviously from left to right we've got the K&A. Now there's a posh house, hasn't got a garage for a car, got a mooring place for its boat. So I'm now in the Trowbridge area, and I got to admit, those modern canal side properties don't do anything for me. When I think of the old houses in Reading that had the gardens coming down to the canal side, those were lovely properties, the kind of properties I'd want to live in by a canal side, but these modern ones, no, don't do anything for me. But this little bridge I'm on, it's quite a nice covered little bridge. There's a main canal there, with a dirty stinking main road next to it. This little section of canal runs over this little section of the railway line. useless bit of information there for you guys. I just stopped recording when I suddenly saw the train coming along, so I thought I'd get a bit of footage of it. Off he disappears around the corner. If I was walking along this stretch at the end of the day, that'd be a lovely bit of woodland to camp out in. And this is quite a nice little stretch of walk, this is. Here we are in one part of Avon town centre. Got the River Avon there. I stopped at the lock-in for lunch with a lovely burger and a pint. I've never properly been into Bradford town centre, so I thought I'd come and have a little look-see before carrying on my walk along the canal. Here we have Bradford on Avon tithe barn, a 14th century building right next to the canal. Pretty impressive old place. Just up there on the other side of that wall is the canal. I'm now back up on the canal as it runs past Bradford on Avon. Got a spectacular little walk, not all that far from Avon Cliff now and the Aquaduct. That's going to be good. Might camp somewhere near there tonight. Here we are at the top of Avon Aquaduct. I'll just come along here. Now I have to go down and underneath to get to the other side and back up there to carry along the towpath. There's the River Avon there. Cross Guns pub. I've eaten there once many years ago. It was a lovely pub back then. Don't know what it's like now. Here we are coming down to go underneath it. I said the railway line's very close by. Avon Cliff has got a station, though it is a request stop. Trains don't automatically stop there, you've got to request to stop and all that. Here we are up the other side.
Yeah, that's a good shot. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is. Well, I finally stopped for the night within spitting distance of Dundas Aquaduct. You can hear the sheep in the background in the nearby field. Now, this ain't a bad little place for camping out. I come up here. Nice little clearing here. And just up that bank is the canal. There's a bench at the top as well, so I'm going to spend the evening just sitting on the bench watching the world go by. Ah. So my little camping area for the night.